right, welcome to the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. Your man, Big Jack. This is where we prove we are stronger together. And if each one would reach one, we can all grow and glow. And I'm super, super excited about today's show, as I'm excited about all the shows that we have. But we got a really, really wonderful guest on today. And you just seen, we just threw a new intro, and we're changing things up. We're going to make it bigger and better than ever before. And I'm super, again, excited about what we're doing here on the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. So without even holding anything up, and I got to get my man on the stage because we got a lot to talk about, and then we're going to get our guests up. So give me a half a second so I can get my man up on the stage. My man, Walt Talks. What's up, bro? How you doing?
My man, what's happening, Big Jack? How you doing, sir?
Oh, man, it's great. It's great. It's great. I see you got your DC.
Hey, man, yeah, love for my city, man. Absolutely, 100%.
Right. All right, ain't nothing wrong with that.
700,000 citizens in the District of Columbia, man. So it's just more than capitals and monuments. And we'll leave it there.
Yeah,
700,000 people, taxpayers in the District of Columbia.
Right.
It's more than monuments. They're real people there. So yes.
Yeah, 100%. And a lot of people they claim it, even if I never lived in the city, but I've claimed it only because I was so close to it, and that's what we say that the DMV. The people say the District, Maryland and Virginia. So for those who didn't know what the DMV means or meant, that's exactly what it means.
100%, man. And we don't do a whole lot of politics here, but I would suggest that everyone go and just do your own research on a District of Columbia and taxation without representation and all that good stuff. So it's a real city, man. So
that's on every license plate, ain't that on the license plate?
Yeah, and they're trying to change that. They're trying to get that off of there because they don't want the world to know that. So I'm like,
right, okay. Well, look, how you been?
Man, I'm good, man. I can't complain. I'm alive and well, man. Life is good, and just making sure that I stay in touch with reality and what really matters.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we got a wonderful show today. Got a new guest, a guest who's never crossed our paths before. So we're gonna bring her out. I mean, we always bring in new guests, so we always try something and different and all. So with that being said, we're gonna welcome our guests up on the stage and kick this show off. You ready to go?
Yes, and let me say this: I did not realize how much work is involved with booking your guests, man. 2 guests a week, that's a lot. That's a lot, man. So I salute you for that, man, because that is a lot.
Well,
when I tell people that, they can't believe it. They can't believe it. I'm like,
it gets hectic, and like we even mentioned before, and we'll talk about it while we're talking now, but we know that come next month and come where we in now, August, so it'll be September, that our Wednesday show will be pre-recording that show. So that's going to be something different for us because I've never had to do a pre-recorded show. So I don't even know what that's like. So we're gonna have some fun with that for sure.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
But let's get our guests up on the stage so we can kick this one off, man.
Let's make it happen. Let's go.
All right, here we go. All right, welcome to the show, Ruthie. How you doing?
So good to be here. I love your visuals; they're so fun.
All right, well, thank you. We try to change it up a little bit. I'm like a little kid with this. I like to see, hey, what can I do to make it fun?
What else can we do? Yeah.
What else can I do? Say again.
You're the creator of all the.
I do all of. Wow. Yes, I have some fun. I like doing it. Before I even started doing YouTube, and getting on here and doing the live shows and all, I used to be I would say like a brand promoter. So I would make videos for different people's brands and help them get their self started. And that was something I was doing that was a hobby. I mean, I'm not a professional. I've never went to class, anything for it, but I just like playing around and seeing what we can get. So, but there it is. And thank you. So I guess we hit the right notes. All right. Well, thank you. So with that being said, we got Miss Ruthie Wilson on the stage with us, and thank you for being a guest on the Iron Sharpening Iron show. And welcome. And
I'm so excited to be here.
all
I
right,
love
all
the
right.
show.
Well, thank you. That's pretty cool. So, so we can get started. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Just a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna condense into a little bit because I've got 50 years of a lot of stuff. I I feel like we show up in life because of what has happened in our lives, right? And so I am a certified clinical hypnotherapist, and I came into that because of my own, in my head and my family. I came from extreme poverty and didn't have the luxury of having a therapist. And so I had to read and figure out, and I, with a wonderful father who had a lot of trauma, generational, and ended up abusive, alcoholic. I was his therapist and my mom's therapist. And so then I ended up being listener to all my friends. And that was really, it turned out I was really good at it. And along the way, I didn't want to be responsible for somebody's brain. I can barely be responsible for mine. And I always was curious about hypnosis, but never brave enough to let anybody inside my head because I didn't understand it, like most people don't, until I found my teacher. And Dennis has since passed, but he helped me understand we're all in a state of hypnosis and what I could do with it. And so now my favorite thing in life is working with people, and all I have to do is ask the right questions, get them in the right state, ask the right questions, and their unconscious mind comes up with all the solutions and answers, which is so much fun. In the process, this is like the most important thing in my life. And so in high school, I met the first human that listened to me outside of my best friend and stepsister. And he was also so cute. And we met each other at Checkers, which is a double drive-through. I don't know where are you guys at?
Yeah, we know Checkers. We're in the Washington.
we know, I'm in Washington D.C. and he's in the
We know Checkers. Yeah.
We know
okay.
Checkers.
All right. Well, we went to Checkers and met each other, and we were different. I was older. I'm a cougar. And we were different religions, and so there was a lot of things against us in high school. We were too young to understand our big love, and so we let everybody separate us. We married other people and had our trial marriage for 27 years. And then we graduated from those and found our way back to each other. The events I won't get into all. Someday I'll write a book because who's the guy? Nicholas Sparks. Anybody know Nicholas Sparks? He wants
not offhand.
Well, if anybody watching knows Nicholas Sparks, you put him my way because it needs to be a book. But needless to say, interesting paths. We came together again, and it's been 5 years of the best 5 years of my life.
Wow.
And now one of the best things is we are empty nesters. And so we got to choose, because of the amazing circumstances, I have a lot of squirrels that come up, ADHD, and also menopause. Woo, here we go.
Oh, wow.
So, little side note, my personal belief, and this is if anybody takes anything away from this, try it on. Everything in your life is for you.
I believe that.
If you're in the middle of something that sounds, feels, looks awful, you don't know how it's for you yet, but it's for you. And so because of some health issues and some circumstances, we ended up coming to Florida, and he's able to work remotely, and I work remotely. So we traded in space for a 3-minute walk to the beach. Now we have a teeny little, but it's wonderful. And I just love being live.
Nice.
Wow. Hey, thank you. Well, it's nice to meet you and hear that story. I mean, you definitely sound like you got a wonderful husband. Like, and so y'all met in high school.
Yeah.
But but you didn't marry for, you said, almost 27 years?
Well, we married other people for 27 years. When we got back together, it was 30 years, almost to the day that we met.
Wow. So now how is it? I guess it's saying you got a 30-year. I got to throw this one out there. I'm sorry. So you didn't, after y'all separated, because you said you separated for religious reasons. So his religion and your religion and other people separating you. But did y'all think about each other for 30 years? Like you were married with somebody? And
well,
just asking.
Hopefully my ex-husband doesn't see this. It was a very frustrating decade because in my waking life, I was married to my husband, and we had 3 children together. And when I went to sleep, I was with John.
Oh, wow.
And then I would wake up and feel guilty and angry because I wanted to get him out of my head. But that was very difficult to do. It wasn't until, I don't know, like 15 years maybe, that I actually, strangely enough, I connected with his wife, because she was his girlfriend from Maryland. And just as we were going to get married before he went off to the Navy, she came back in and swooped him away. So we had a lot of together break back and forth for 3 years in high school. And then she came and stole him from me. And strangely enough, we got to be friends. And that's how some of the things she said, I was like, okay, he's where he needs to be, and I can let it go. And I focused on my marriage for like 100%, and which was wonderful, because it never, this is just, here I am. you know, things feel right, and then things feel right. You know, we've got all these different sides of us, and he's a wonderful man. Great husband, great father of my children. Never felt quite right. It's more like he's my brother, you know.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And there's absolute purpose that we needed to be together. We helped each other grow up, but it never felt like, you know. And then we graduated. We got all the things that we needed to learn from each other, and it was just the right timing, which actually so I hit the Mexican drug cartel by accident. It was, I don't even know where we went, but you can ask a question or I'll just ramble.
Well, no, I mean, that was a major statement you just threw out there. So how did you, how would you know a person is part of a cartel or whatever? Is this, I mean, you knew who you were, and you knew who that was. And I mean, what, you got to tell me a little bit about the story with this.
My day job is hypnotherapy, and I'm night rider's sidekick no, not really. I was doing this exercise, and this is going to sound probably real weird to some people. I learned to talk to my body, because we are only, if you believe you have a spirit, we have one of us inside this universe with trillions of other things living, and each cell is alive. And I believe that the innate wisdom of our genetics in our body goes back thousands of years. So why would we not listen to it? So I was practicing going through, sitting in the tub, talking to my brain, talking to my eyes, talking to all these body parts, and just feeling and sensing with the spirit. What do I need to do? Thank you so much, heart. Thank you so much, liver. What do I need to do for you? When I got to my gallbladder, I felt an intense, I need a cleanse. So trying to follow promptings, I got out and went right off to the store. Didn't even grab my water bottle, which is weird. Always have my water. And I was driving along a road that ambulances go. So I didn't have any stop signs, but I'm driving along about 35 miles an hour. And I'm guessing you guys have seen Transformers, Bumblebee.
Oh, yeah.
All of the sudden, out of nowhere, it was like Bumblebee came out of the air and boom, and I hit him and then was gone again. And I felt like I'd lost my mind for a minute, but I panicked and pulled over. And what had happened was a car, a yellow, some kind of sports car, was flying over 100 miles an hour, blew through a stop sign, and I clipped their tail end, which sent him on his side, hit a parked car. And because he was high on heroin and not a seatbelt, he went flying through the windshield 75 feet away, splat across the road. His car flipped 3 times in the air, splat this far away from him.
Oh, wow.
Now, if that boy was not given a second chance, I just don't even know what a second chance is. But I was terrified. His girlfriend was climbing up out of the door, the car was on its side. And my brain couldn't compute what had happened, except for I hit them. And why would they be going so fast? And kept staring. Was it my fault? Was it my fault? And a few moments later, a man pulled up in a truck and got out and checked to see if I was okay. Once I knew that I was shaken, I was numb on my right side, but it was just adrenaline. Then he let me know he was an undercover cop, had been chasing these guys for over 2 years. And they would do the same thing every time. They would speed through residential areas, and they couldn't chase them at those high speeds. And so then, of course, I felt like, not on my watch, not on the Lord's errand. Felt all really full of myself until somebody pointed out that had I gone any faster or any slower, we would have T-boned. And we would all been dead.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, you would have got him, or you would have T-boned him, and he would have T-boned you, yeah.
Exactly. And that was the slap across the brain. That was my almost near-death experience, wake-up call. What am I doing? Where is my life? Who am I? Who am I living for? And at that time, I had promised somewhere earlier in our marriage, like maybe 8 or 10 years in, I wanted a divorce. And I prayed about it, felt good. And then things turned around and we ended up staying together, and it just wrecked my brain because I thought I knew how to listen to God. And clearly, if we were supposed to stay together, that was wrong. And so then what else is wrong? So I spiraled down this, I don't know a thing. Turns out I did need to ask for a divorce because that was the slap across his head to say, let's work on this. And we did. And we ended up building a really beautiful relationship, but it just wasn't all right. And in my heart, I said, I will never, ever ask for a divorce again. But then in that moment, or not in that moment, but the days afterwards, I realized that I wasn't being kind. I wasn't being selfless. I was holding him back and I was holding me back. And so I did the most brave and difficult thing to, and a divorce just doesn't sound right for the situation. I asked for a graduation. It was time.
Oh, wow. I've never heard anyone use it in that form, like a graduation, but I mean, I guess it's taking you to another level, taking you to another part of your life
Yeah.
that you're graduating. You know, it's I too have been married and divorced and then remarried, so I know that state. But I didn't look at it as a graduation, but you do. It is different. It 100% is different and all. So you say you were speaking to your different body parts, and as you get to your liver and
Gallbladder.
gallbladder. Yes, outside. Thank you. So you got to the gallbladder, and it's like, okay, cleanse yourself. So you just get up and leave, and then you get in a car accident. Is that all in the same trip? Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
never. Now this was 2020, July 3rd, 2020.
Okay.
That's recent.
And I'm sure you guys remember the Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, and all the
Mm-hmm.
all the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What amazed me was the officer, after I'm sitting in the heat for 45 minutes waiting for to write the whatever, I don't know what, he came and sat down, and 2 years chasing these kids. And what he said was, I hope that they get the help that they need now. I know they'll be safe. I hope that they find a new life. And I thought, wow, could I be so forgiving? Could I be so, like, I feel like I would be over there doing high kicks. Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I kind of was, and I only clipped them. And it was a humbling experience. And that was a game changer for me, to view humans in no matter what state they are in, that we're all children. Some of us are more adults than others. Some of us have a lot of child. Well, okay. So fun little hypnotherapy trick for you.
Okay.
You ever meet somebody, or you're talking to somebody that, especially when you know them well, and yet usually when you hit a trigger, you may not know you hit a trigger, but all of a sudden they're acting 10 or 4 or 15, but they're not acting 45 or 50 or 60 or whatever. That's a sign that there is a part of them that hasn't grown up. So we really are walking around with so many personalities in our heads. And it isn't until we are able to soften and open to allow that part of us that we've judged or somebody else has judged. And so we've rejected it, and we've blocked it, and we've pushed it out. And so that part never gets to grow up. And every time you hit a circumstance that reemerges or aligns with that one where you're stunted, you act like a child again.
Wow. Yeah. Well, we'll make that comment a lot. We're saying we got that inner child, or that's my inner child. So I mean, we know in a sense, without knowing that it's there, we know that now that you're speaking about it, you're actually saying that it is a child in there that's like waiting to get out or still act up or because I know if you bother me or if I'm frustrated, I pout. I mean, like you over there pouting like a little kid. Like, okay, you call it what you want to call it, but I'm bothered, and you got me pouting, and yes, and it doesn't. I don't care how old you get, you still you get to that point where So I want to ask you, because I'm not I'm not an expert on anything. I'm gonna say you are. So you're saying self-hypnosis.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to a doctor, or how does that work? Explain that a little bit to me so I can understand.
Okay. Well, it's not meant to be a secret, but most people don't know it. All hypnosis is self-hypnosis. I can be the best hypnotherapist or hypnotist or whatever, but if Walt decides, no, you're not getting in, he's not getting hypnotized.
So you have to be relaxed.
I can be the worst hypnotherapist, but if Walt knows how to calm his mind and get into the zone, he's going to have a great session, because it's self-hypnosis. So really, I went through this weird thing with menopause where I was like, I didn't even want to call myself a hypnotherapist, because really I'm a guide. Interestingly enough, I have two names. I've got two sides of me. I've got Ruthie. Ruth is the root. It's the female version of shepherd. So I'm a guide. And then Renee means rebirth or emerge. And so I guide people to a rebirth of what's actually inside. It's my personal belief that we're all born amazing, beautiful, infinite worth. And we are all that. We're always the same. Nothing we can do can change our worth. But we think we're going to protect ourselves. So we layer on this armor, and we layer on armor on our children. We don't want them to hurt or suffer. So we just pile it on because that's what our family or parents or whatever showed us how to do. And so it's just taking off the layers. And now I have no idea what I was saying.
Well, you was talking about how that's funny, but that with the hypnosis.
Hypnosis is self-hypnosis.
Right. So you relax into yourself and you trust the innate wisdom that's inside. You can call it your Jiminy Cricket, you can call it God, you can call it spirit, you can call it your unconscious mind. That's just semantics. You just doesn't matter what you call it. It's there, and you just get in touch with it.
Okay. So now with the being self, like I say, I would have to be in someone's office, or I have to be, or is this something that you can practice by yourself? Or is
you absolutely can. My favorite is teaching, and in fact, right now I haven't really done much with my YouTube channel in a while, but right now on my YouTube channel, my self-hypnosis course that was like $1,000 has been up there for free for quite a little while. And I'd guide through an 8-week course. We get together every week, and that's a lot of fun. So even when I do one-on-one sessions, most of them are online. And by the third session, you know what you're doing, because we all know how to do it. When you're driving, you're on your way to get something from the store, but you get lost in thought, and before you know it, you're going to work.
Right.
Autopilot. That's because you were hypnotized. You're in a state of hypnosis. There are lots of different states. Right now, now, Big Jack, you look like you're starting to drift down a little bit. Well, he's right here with me. Right. And then as you start to tell stories, actually, we tell stories, and that brings us back into the unconscious mind. And that's all it is. And you listen to stories, and this is why stories are so powerful. Because you go to a movie, you ever go to a movie and you get lost in time, and it gets over, and you're like, oh my gosh, where am I? What time of day is it? What day is it? That's the power of hypnosis. You get pulled right in. And that's also the danger, because you get pulled right in and you actually get programmed. The things you watch, the things you listen to, the stories we tell ourselves are so powerful. The most powerful things to build us up and pull us down.
Yeah, because that's what I'm thinking when I'm hearing, even hypnosis. I'm picturing a person with a watch in their hand and dangling in front of me, and the lights, and then I'm asleep, and so
cluck like a chicken.
Right, yeah. When you hear this bell, or when you hear this sound, or when you hear this word, and so now that you're saying it's different levels, so that is an actual level.
Yeah.
But this is what you're talking about is not that. That's not that deep. Or is it?
It depends on you.
Okay.
This is a fun thing, and I can't see the whites of your eyes, but I'll get real close so you can see mine. Now, you can just close your eyes nice and slow. And when they're closed, tell me where your eyeballs are pointing. Are they straight forward? Are they up, sideways?
Down.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was looking up, so I don't know.
Okay. So your eyeballs were up.
Mm.
All right. So oh, this is so fun. Okay. Remember I said Walt, he's right here with me. He's here and you're already drifting a little bit. There's a state of person, not a state of person, it's a state of the mind called somnambulism. And that's just a somnambulistic person is like a sleepwalker. It's the person that stays around. They are so gullible. You can tell them it's anybody under 7. Have you guys heard of the reticular activating system?
Yes. I don't know what it means, but I've heard the word.
Yes, it's your brain's bouncer. So you've got a filter in
keeps
there.
Those things out. Okay.
And you've got because we have so much data coming in all the time. You're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, there's something on my foot. There's something on, what's on my foot? Your whole brain is going to fire up. There's something on my foot. And then but it hits the reticular activating system and your brain says, that's a sock. It's okay. We do it every day. Relax. We're going to push this out. We're going to bounce it out because we don't have to worry about it. We only have so much energy into focus. And so most of our lives are automated. We try really hard to get automated. And so somebody who's in a somnambulistic state, and that's where we want to get in a light session. To do self-hypnosis, you want to be in that state where you can be suggestible, but not knocked out, right? So right now, Big Jack, we'd be able to do some work with you, right? Because if you're the sign that you're back there, and in fact, the way we get there is you find a point, you keep your head right where it is. Now look up with just your eyeballs. There you go. And you find a point on the ceiling or wall or wherever it is, and you keep it and you hold your attention on that spot. And you drill it in, you pretend and imagine you've got a laser beam. You're Superman, you've got a laser beam. You're going to go through that wall and then you go up through the wall and out into outer space. And I could just keep talking and going on and on. And I would soften my voice and slow my cadence. And it's just to get your brain to relax. Because when we're tight and tense, we hold everything in that's already in there, including toxins. That was my biggest problem. I had so many stories and traumas and beliefs that I had all my armor on and I was tight. And my brain held on to mercury and aluminum, which really messed me up. Estrogen was like holding the doors of the aliens back in my brain. And then I lost that and I went to crazy town for about 9 months. And y'all, it is not fun.
Wow.
Wow. So, so you're saying, because we put a lot of layers on, we put a lot of stuff, some to protect, some to keep in, some to keep things out. But and you were saying because sometimes with the layers that we put on, it can cause, like you say, your chemical imbalances. So you say that mercury and aluminum and things to now just build up inside the layers. So now, how did you catch something like that? How would you know that was going on?
Well, we have. Gosh, how to explain this? We have a state of balance, right? And we have the things a cell has, the things that a cell needs. We need the proper balance of sodium and potassium and magnesium, all of our electrolytes. Otherwise, the water, we can't hold the moisture. We need water. When there is imbalance, things just don't flow right. And we end up having health conditions. Go figure.
Yes.
The problem is that we work so hard to have clean blood, because blood is what runs the system. We have to have blood flowing through our organs and everything. And so if you have toxic buildup of whatever it is, and your body is not flowing, you're not releasing it, it's just going to push it to tissue. And so a lot of people that have inflammation, their joints, problems with brain fog or joint issues, it's because your tissue is so full of the garbage that we're pushing in so that our blood can be clean. Now, if your blood has problems, you're in real trouble, because your tissue is really has a high toxic load. And interestingly enough, because now I used to run a health food store, and I thought I was healthy until menopause hit. And I was mad, y'all. I was like, I don't know about you, but it feels like every single time I have an issue, I can trace it back to where I have judged. And I used to say I had a curse.
Yes.
Curse. If I judge somebody, I'm going to get the circumstance to help me understand their life.
Yes. Karma is real. Yes.
Yeah.
And that what makes you laugh also makes you cry sometimes too. Yes.
Amen. Yes. I have done a lot of judging uber wealthy people, and I haven't gotten that burden yet.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready for it.
Watch what you ask for.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Watch what you ask for. Because the fact that you are that you acknowledge the things that are going on, like you know, like the things we resist, what we resist only persists, right?
Yes.
So once you acknowledge that these things are there, that keeps you from, in my opinion, my humble opinion, that keeps you from, once you acknowledge them and ask yourself, why am I reacting, or why does this thing disturb me or make me respond in this way, then you can kind of get to the other side of it. You know, once you get to it, you can get through it. But if you just ignore it, it only multiplies. It only comes at you super fast. Yeah. And it's like if you see someone you don't like, for me, if I see someone I don't like, and when I say I don't like, I just get a bad vibe from this person. I'm kind of weird like this, and Big Jack could tell you, in my mind, and that's where the fun starts, I need to find out why I don't like this person. I need to get to know this person better, because that just basically tells me, I'm asking myself, what is it about me or this person that triggers me to make me feel this way? So now I need to understand this person's perspective and point of view. So I'm just kind of weird like that when it comes to those kind of things. So I know what you're saying.
Well,
because if I do it the way you just said it, I'm done.
You're the male version of me. I've never met anybody like that. I have done that for years because I cannot handle not liking somebody. I mean, I can handle not agreeing, or like you're just not my cup of tea or whatever, but I don't like the feeling of judgment. Because I will go out of my way to be friends with somebody just to see. I kind of like the feeling of uncomfortable and embarrassment. I spent so much time being embarrassed as a child that I decided it was fun. And so embarrassment doesn't bother me anymore.
Well, what's embarrassment? Is there really anything embarrassing, so to speak? I mean, is the value that you put on it, that's what makes you feel embarrassed.
Relativity,
but if you're just asking an open question and for perspective, because everybody has perceptions of things, right? But once you learn someone else's perspective, I mean, the value that you put on it, that's what makes it good or bad. I just don't believe there's a good or bad thing, because like you said in the beginning, all things are here to help you, so to speak.
Yeah.
You kind of learn from it, right?
Yeah.
Everything is for you. So, you know, because if you change anything, you change everything. So to sit back and wish this thing weren't true, I mean, you change everything about your life, and who wants to do that? So, yeah.
No, very good. I mean, that is good. So, Ruthie, we know we're at the point you said that the toxins, and you realized they're both during menopause. So, so
All right, that's what we were talking about.
Are you using help or self-hypnosis to help you with the menopause, or is it possible? I'm asking because I don't know. So please let me know. Yeah.
So, okay, you guys are the first ones that I have ever told this. It has almost been a year, and I tested this new thing out, and I only told my sister and my husband so that they could be my husband's my grounder.
Mhm.
And like, if I'm crazy, you let me know, because I was last year. And it was, I had my first, it was so cute. I had my first, not a seminar, but where we stay together all week.
Like a workshop?
Yeah, a retreat.
A retreat, okay.
Yes. And I got a hot flash. I'm like, oh, how fun, you guys. I think I'm going, oh, whatever. And then I got home and it hit me like a Mack truck. Like, I don't know how your wives' deliveries went with the babies, but when I had my contractions, it was like, you're getting close to that birth, and they're right on top of each other. And that's how my hot flashes were. It was like I'd have this wave, like I'm going to spontaneous combust here.
Oh, man.
But with it would come the mind stuff and the hypothalamus. So I'm just going to pretend you don't know, because there will be
we don't
that don't know. You've got what's called the HPA axis. We have our hypothalamus, and that's the first wave. Data comes in, and the hypothalamus says whether it's stress or not. And if it's stress, perceived as stress, is going to go to the the pituitary, and then the adrenals, and then we're going to make cortisol, and then we're going to fight or
flight. That's where your fight or flight comes from. Right.
Yeah. So if you are burning up and it's 65 degrees, something's wrong with that hypothalamus, because it also regulates your temperature. So at least I praise the Lord that I understood that little bit of science, because it gave me pause for what I was thinking. And the first day that it came on me in waves, I sent a message to my husband and said, honey, I just want you to know, if you or Peyton, that was the high schooler at the time, well, yeah, because he's graduated, if you tease me at all, I'm going to ugly cry and embarrass us all. He was in the kitchen in like seconds. Honey, what's the matter? All of it fell apart. He pulled me into the bathroom so Peyton wouldn't hear us. What's wrong? Hormones. I think it's menopause. And he did. Now, for all of the husbands that will ever hear this forevermore, he hugged me and he whispered in my ear, "It's okay, baby. It's okay. I've got you. It's all right.
Man.
And maybe you need a gummy or 3." Because I use CBD gummies.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, maybe. And turns out CBD is really helpful to calming the brain down. And so, all of that being said, that's where hypnosis helps, because when I had a flare up, I would call it, in my thinking, and I couldn't tell up from down, I would have to sit and calm my mind, calm my breathing, which would usually calm my temperature also.
Right.
And do the whole, let's look at this. Okay. So Peyton didn't say thank you for the cookies and he left. Is that really the end of the world? Do we need to cry about this? And could there be another solution? So it's the same thing. And then when I accidentally pulled out the heavy metals, which turns out estrogen is a really good antioxidant. Antioxidants keep the rust from taking over your brain.
Mhm.
You guys, you don't bleed like women do. So
Mhm.
you've got a buildup of iron over the years that
Mhm.
the ratio of iron to copper is usually just out of balance. And so you need some antioxidants. But I didn't have the selenium, I didn't have the zinc, I didn't have the right things in the proper order. And so I wasn't able to flush out the toxins.
Mm.
And I found that out when I used some copper cream. There's the big copper revolution. Everybody needs more copper. Get tested first. You might not need copper. You might need to balance things so you can use the copper you have. That was me. And so, like, you know, I learned the lesson the hard way, but in the process, every day was a new brain. I got to experience agoraphobia. I got to experience panic attacks again. I got to
Mhm.
experience deep, debilitating depression. And,
Mhm.
and it was seeing things from the inside out. And no matter what it was that I was going through in my brain, I used the same process. Sit still, quiet your mind, and let's have I I had a chat with myself. This was the crazy part. I don't think it's crazy now, but
Mhm.
it seems like the world would think I'm crazy. I was Ruthie.
Mhm.
My body was Renee. So that
Okay.
Ruthie and Renee could have a conversation in the quantum field like we were two people. And I would talk back and forth to myself. And it felt really crazy in the moment, but now I look back and realize, oh, yeah, that's what I do with my clients. So I just didn't realize it in the beginning.
So if you had a 2-year-old, just asking a question, if you had a 2-year-old, which we've all had 2-year-olds,
Hmm.
and they're just crying for no reason, or what you think is no reason, to them it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And we've all had the experience when we've asked, "Why are you crying? What's the
Hmm.
matter? What's going on?" So basically, when you stay, when you run a call and you have a patient that's hyperventilating, I can't
Hmm.
breathe, can't breathe, I can't breathe. Back to what you said, you have to slow your breathing. You
Yeah.
can't breathe because you're breathing too fast. So just slow your breathing. And have you found that when you just stay present, wherever you are, wherever your feet are, staying present in that moment, staying focused on what's happening now, instead of thinking about what's going to happen, what could happen, because animals,
Yeah.
their fight or flight thing is instant and then they go on to the next thing. But we carry stuff forever. Have you found that just staying present and staying focused where your feet are, be present where your feet are at that moment? Have you found that that's helped your patients?
Absolutely. In fact, you can use, I call them ninja skills,
Okay.
because you don't have to, because sometimes, I don't know about your wives,
Hmm. Oh.
but most people, when you
Hmm.
say, calm down,
Oh, whoa,
that's what
whoa,
set
whoa.
them off.
So I had that discussion yesterday. Never, I made this statement, never in the history of telling someone to calm down have they ever calmed down.
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
no, it's the
And
opposite.
Yeah.
and 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 if you think about it, and without getting too, sidetracked, when you see things happening, people will say, calm down, stop resisting,
Hmm.
as if you're escalating it. And I
Right.
built, hey Jack, I told you about what happened to me in like the ninth grade with
Mhm.
the social studies teacher,
Right, right, right.
and he had he separated the class in half, and we were having a debate, and he said these guys over here are like, they're not studying as studious as you guys are, and of course I was on the other side of the class, and he said, but hey man, so when you have this debate, just crush them. And then he came to us and told us, he said, look, these guys aren't smarter than you. They just in the books every day. He said, but this is what you do. When you feel yourself, if you feel yourself losing a debate, put your hand on the shoulder, look them in the eye, and say, Ruthie, I understand what you're saying, but I need you to calm down. And an amazing thing happened, Ruthie. Within like two or three times of me telling you to calm down, you were absolutely hysterical. You know, and so like you said, so any man who's been married more than 3 or 4 days knows better than to tell his wife to calm down. I mean, you
Yeah.
know,
Right. Right.
but that's
That's what
amazing
they
that you
want.
say that, because people say that if you're not calm, unless you have some obvious things going on, a person who is not calm and who is livid is not really aware that they think they're being rational.
Right.
You know, so the irrational mind doesn't tell you to just what's really happening here. Nothing is.
Mm,
I'm breathing. I'm awake. I'm here. There's nothing really threatening me, right? But the irrational mind will tell you, you have you thinking about things that haven't even happened, and have you
yeah,
projecting yourself into a panic attack.
right.
And
Right.
that and yeah,
Yeah.
so that's what. So if you have a way, I think his hypnosis, as I see it, as a novice, that keeps people grounded.
Grounded. And
This is
that's exactly what
yeah,
we need. We need to get out of our head and into our body. And
okay,
you can, would you like to know how to help them without them even knowing?
sure,
Please, Chef, tell us.
Okay. So well, number one, you mirror. You can
there you
start
go.
by, you can bring your breath up with them, meet them,
Mm-hmm.
so you start to connect, and then you slow your speech and you slow your breath.
Right.
And if they're okay with being touched, you can put either your hand on their chest or right on the back, their
Mm-hmm.
heart, and you're going to connect. You're going to, that physical touch is going to help bring them down. But then also, if you can get them at least to respond, you start, do you smell that?
Mm,
Right.
What, you get them into their senses, into
Senses.
their
Right.
body. What do I smell? What do you see? What else do you hear?
mm,
And then, okay, interesting. Okay. And then you want to, and just listening, but I'm so sorry. I'm a little slow. I can't
And you
hear you that
explain.
fast. Try, tell me again. I'm listening. Slow it down like I'm a first grader. I want to hear you. And then they'll take a breath because they have, oh, this stupid.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And it will help bring them down and balanced without even realizing it.
And back to
right.
911 call. You meet someone on the street that's hysterical. You have to calm that person down. And but you never calm a person down by telling
I
them to
tell them to
calm
calm
Right.
down.
Look at
Yeah.
my eyes. What color
down.
are my eyes? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Explain that to me. Help me understand. So
Yeah.
what I see, but explain this to me. Make me understand where you're
Yeah.
coming from. But
Mm,
even if someone's not having an emergency, just talking to someone and asking them to explain their point of view, because I'm not going to we all do. Let's be clear about this. We all make judgments on people every day.
right.
Hmm.
But just asking you your perspective instead of me making a judgment call about your perspective
Yeah.
is a totally different thing. And because everybody's trying to figure it out, Ruthie, right? I mean,
Yeah.
am I wrong with that? Everybody's trying to figure it out. We're all trying to
And
figure it out.
everyone's doing the best
Yeah.
they know how.
Yes.
The problem is we have stories.
Yes.
We tell ourselves stories. We listen to other people's stories, and some of them are so good, and some of them are keeping us small. And so I when I work with couples, I try to get the answer, and it doesn't even matter what you feel like right now, but I want to
Mm-hmm.
know in your heart, if all this little, these
Mm-hmm.
circumstances, if this was all worked out, do you love each other? Is there
Mm-hmm.
love there? And then if that's true, because you get the buy-in, okay, I
Mm-hmm.
love you, you love me, or at some point somewhere
Mm-hmm.
underneath, I love you and you love me. Anything that comes out of our bodies that doesn't look like love is just data that we need to figure out.
Mm,
I'm
Mm-hmm.
just showing you my pain. and I don't know how to do it in an adult way. And so then we help that small part, get that little child to grow up, give that child permission. And really most of it they just want to be seen. There's that trauma that needs to be, and it doesn't even need to be discussed. That's the fun part with talk therapy. I'm not going to down it, that it has its place. But when I work with people, I don't need the story. I need the emotion.
Right.
What feeling got locked up and compressed into an emotion, then stuffed in your body, and it became a trigger?
Because it's based on prior stuff, right? It's previous. Is we hold on to so much stuff.
Yep.
And you make me feel like, and I think you, and it reminds me of all of those things are triggers.
Yeah.
And one of the big ones is definitely with relationships, because it's like the last person did this and the last person. So you start putting guards up and walls up before you even get a chance to even talk to a person. And it don't have to be a physical relationship. It could just be in a relationship. I'm not, the last time I was at this place, this person hurt my heart or hurt my feelings, or so everyone that's in this place is going to hurt me. So I'm already got my guard up before I even get there. So
but we have a responsibility.
Your body knows.
Yeah, but we have a responsibility. We can't hold people accountable for our feelings that we don't let them know we're feeling a certain way about whatever. I mean, because that's just selfish, in my opinion. And I guess we had a conversation on the what's that, Jack? Battle of the Sexes, but we have that discussion a lot. And it's because men and women are made differently, right? Because we're going to solve things. But Ruthie, if we're having a discussion and I say, okay, you're telling me something, and I'm like, so help me understand, because your actions or reactions don't line up with what you're telling me is going on. So what am I missing? What am I really missing here? What are you really telling me? And when you have that discussion, sometimes, I mean, it happened to me. People are, because you just get mad, and people will. If somebody asks you that question, so what's really going on? And then it's like, okay, then you have that conversation, which you're basically holding someone accountable for something that they have no idea, that they have done, And somebody cutting you off in traffic is just trying to get home. It's not personal against you. They're just trying to get to where they're trying to go.
Right.
And, so it's just weird, man.
In Ruthie's experience, they were just trying to get away. And,
Hey, man. Hey, look. Hey.
How you doing,
Do you only use your powers for good, or have you ever can you help me get these Powerball numbers going or anything like that?
Oh, well, if I could do that.
Well, I mean, you only use your powers for good, but me and Big Jack sometimes not so much.
That's it. But it's funny because you're talking about that and how you said it, because I know it's been times like on a golf course or even on a bowling alley or anywhere, where if you do something like if I don't hit the ball right, and I'll be like, come on, Jackson, what are you doing? I'm talking to myself. I don't need nobody else to tell me anything. I'm working this thing out within myself.
Hey,
because
man,
I believe
your head up.
A lot of it is in your mind. It's like, get out your head. Get out your head and play the dang game. You're sitting there, well, I got to hit it I got to hit over the water. I don't want to hit in the trees. And you're talking yourself into the bad shot. You didn't have a bad shot. You talked yourself into it. And then when you do it, it's like you're surprised. Like, you said all of those things, and you did exactly what you said you was going to do. So now start speaking positive to yourself. Start speaking.
It works the same way, right?
The blessings to yourself. Start saying, hey, I'm going to hit a good shot. I'm going to get wet water, that, and then let watch the ball land where you want it to, and don't just take all the credit. Just like, okay.
The brain does not understand the word don't. The brain, my brain anyway, and maybe my brain is probably different from everybody else's brain. If I tell myself not to do something, oh, you want me to do it? Don't hit it in the water. Oh, it's a done deal. It's a done deal.
The last thing you saw is where it's going, right in the water. No, don't go there. And why even say it to yourself? Yeah. And the thing is, we've convinced. I'm sorry, Rob. We convinced ourselves that happens, because how many times you've ever watched a sporting event, the announcer says something about a player. The player messed up, and they say it was the curse from the announcer. Like, the announcer cursed. It's like, if you had said that, it wouldn't have happened. But it's like, that's not what happened. He missed the shot, and he missed the kick. It had nothing to do with the announcer saying or talking about his stats.
Yeah.
Well, he hasn't missed a kick all year. Well, guess what he's going to do now? He's going to miss it. So, I mean, it's just the fact that we speak things into existence. And with that, you can actually speak good things into existence if you can speak bad things. So start speaking good to yourself. Go ahead, Walt, what you have for me?
No, I mean, like, is there anything, are there any classes? Is there any are there any certifications? Or is there a certificate? Is there an organization that sort of, and I don't know what state you're in, but that has to sanction you? Is there a disclaimer that comes with your help? How does that work? I'm coming to you because I need help. I'm missing 3-foot putts on a daily basis, and I'm having a lot of problems here. So you basically trying to get me out of my own way because I'm trying to get on the PGA tour. I need my tour card, and I really just want to beat Big Jack on a regular basis, and I'm trying to cut this out. So how do you help me? How does this process work, Ruthie?
Yeah, it's fun. My trainer actually worked with golf pros.
Okay.
But so there are things to think about with a hypnotherapist if you, because we stay in our own lane, right?
Okay.
We don't work with, if you are working with a psychotherapist, there has to be communication with the therapist to have, like, they have to sign a release. There is, I don't know what state it's in, but there is a national board that you have to take a test to show you know what you're doing and get the certification. And we're just clear. Well, if your hypnotherapist is not clear, then you're not with the right hypnotherapist. You're clear that this is not, I'm not a psychotherapist, that this is you. I don't work with people who are not willing to take responsibility for themselves.
There you go.
I'm not about blame. It's just not helpful. I'm with the right or wrong. It doesn't, like, I don't care about what's right or wrong because that's relative, right?
Right.
What I want to know is it helpful? Is this helpful? This state of being of mind, is it helping you progress to where you want to be? And that didn't answer your question, but
no, you did. You did.
There's a national board of certification that for a hypnotherapist. Now there's hypnotists, and that's different. Those are like the ones that go on stage and make you quack like a duck, and all those videos. What you're not seeing is the talking before and the questioning, and they're watching you just like I was watching the two of you, and I could very easily see Walt is up here and Big Jack's somewhere kind of drifting a little bit back. And so they're watching to see the signs.
I've been telling them that for years.
When I took the classes and we did that, I learned about somnambulistic people. I could not shut my eyes and keep my eyeballs forward. I could not look down and shut my eyes. They immediately went back, and I had this immediate crisis. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm speaking to 300 people this weekend. If I change this, who am I? And what? I've been hypnotized my whole life. I was falling apart. And everybody said, just be quiet. You're fine. You're going to be fine. And I was. It's just where we live our lives. It's really nice to know how to feel when you're forward, when you're really paying attention and focused. Another trick is to ask somebody what they had for breakfast. I'll pull you right back in the front. Got to figure this out. And then the senses too. If somebody's lost in la la land, you pull them back. Hey, what'd you eat? What do you smell?
So have you written any books, anything, or what book? So with this conversation, I want to know more. So if you for Hypnotherapist 101 for Dummies, that's me. What would you suggest to me? Because there's 50,000 things I can probably search on the internet, but what are some credible sources that I can find out more about this?
So the first book that comes to mind isn't a hypnotherapy book, but it was my introduction without knowing it. I had I had some dental trauma, which is how I got the mercury in the first place. But it was so embarrassing, to the extent of when I woke up, I was put under and took out all my old metal fillings. And when I woke up, I was hugging a pillow and holding the dentist's hand. Apparently, I had been crying for my mother, who is dead, and I wanted my teddy bear, who burned up I had a house fire.
Oh,
and
wow.
When my daughter picked me up, the lady was like, "Oh my gosh, your poor mom, and what happened?" And she was like 34 when she thought I was a little girl when all this happened. Because guess what? With the anesthesia, I went right back to 6 years old, where I was in the trauma, and I couldn't see straight. And the man the anesthesiologist walked me to the car, and he had a beard. So I thought he was my husband. I was hanging on him with my head on his chest. "No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready." And then I thought, well, great. Now I can never show my face again.
he understands. He understands.
I found Joe Dispenza's Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself.
Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Okay.
Fantastic book. And it will really help show you that that there's so many different parts of us that we don't think about. We just go through our life, do so many things we've got to do, check off the list. We don't sit down and be still or quiet with ourselves. So my first suggestion would be to don't read any books first. Sit still with yourself for even 5 minutes at a time. It doesn't matter how. Meditation is just called be quiet and be curious.
Yes.
Well, what I loved about what you said earlier is just, could we just be curious?
Yeah.
What if we didn't have to be angry? What if we didn't have to be embarrassed or have judgment at all? What if we could just be curious about interesting things?
But you have to be secure enough with where you are at that point in your life to be comfortable to question yourself. Because if I'm asking you, like I'm asking you questions, right? Because and are confident in what you're saying, you don't feel like I'm interrogating you. I'm just asking you questions.
Yeah.
But if you were saying these things because you know that you're basically trying to sell us a bill of goods that you are not familiar with, people have a tendency to get to get aggravated because they feel like I'm coming at them.
Yeah.
But if I'm asking you questions, I am basically your best advocate down the road. Because when someone says, "No, man, that's not true. That's not right. That's not how it goes." If they say that about you, hey man, let me tell you something. I had some nice questions for this lady, and she knocked them all out the park, and sent me to sources to back up her answers. And that's the thing. So it's almost like if you're not secure with who you are, everybody's a threat. Everything is a
That's
threat.
true.
And if you are, it's like, so people who know you, like you, and understand you, no explanation is necessary. And for those who don't, no explanation is ever acceptable. So I just got to the point, like, I question everything. And I mean, I know it's kind of aggravating. Big Jack will tell you that. Because we go at it, it's kind of aggravating. But the first person I question is myself. Because if I don't have a true understanding of it, I can't have a good conversation with you. And I need to understand it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know what I know, but we all have implicit biases that we go through every day. And the fact that if you say you don't, I don't see how people get through the day and say they're not biased. Of course we're biased. And because I'm biased and I know I'm biased, that makes me challenge myself to think about this other person's perspective. So it's aggravating to a lot of people, though. I can tell you that, Ruth.
Oh, yeah.
It's true. Because we make everything mean everything about us. Because that's, when you're a teenager, the world revolves around you.
Absolutely.
But really, that's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Everything comes in and bounces off of what we have in here. we don't see reality as reality. We see reality as we are.
Right.
And it's
So-
I have unraveled myself at least 5 times and built myself back up again, allowing myself to shed. That's really menopause is a true metamorphosis. I don't know if that's the right word, but you know what I mean.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you this.
So
Let me
anyway,
ask you this.
look, Boss
Go
B
ahead,
found it. At least
Mhm.
it popping up here real quick because I know
Mhm.
y'all talked about it. But
Mhm.
so Boss
That's
B,
it. I've seen that.
Yes,
Yeah.
there we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
I've seen that cover. Yes, I'm going to get that.
Yeah.
I've seen that pop up on my Amazon feed. Yes.
It's a good one. It's a really good one. And I'll let you in on a secret. Now,
Okay.
Joe does amazing work. My
Mhm.
brother's actually been to one of his seminars where you've got 2,000 people sitting still and meditating at the same time. The buzz of energy in the room, I can't imagine. However, he will do these interesting things that, yoga, you have all these practices where you sit in a posture and you tighten at your sphincter and you pull the energy up. You're trying to get the kundalini to rise, right? And you want there's all kinds of things that we could say about that. It doesn't have to be hard. It just flows. And the energy flows naturally on a monthly cycle in every person. So long as you are open, you have an open heart, and you are kind, and because the tightness blocks the flow.
I'm not doing
So
it. I'm
there's
not
like,
doing it. You can't
if
make
you're
me
going,
do it.
exactly. Yeah, you're blocked to it. And it's the blinders that we see reality like this, and then something busts through that reticular activating system. Now you see reality like this, and then you break it again, and it until you're like, I don't know anything.
Right.
Everything could be true or false, and this is just an interesting ride. What's next?
Right. That is just so true. I mean, it's like once you realize that it's okay not to know something,
Yeah.
it's like you just learn so much. And I mean, I'm telling you, I rub people the wrong way a lot. I know it, and I
Me
don't even
too.
apologize for it anymore. But I'm like, explain that to me. Like, what does that mean? Because sometimes, especially now with the internet and in YouTube, great show, Big Jack, and all of the things, we get caught up in just regurgitating what we hear. We get caught up into phrases and quotes and memes and shorts and all of that without even thinking anymore about what that really means. So like, what does that mean? Explain that to me. And I always have that fun with my grandkids and say, so explain that to me. What does that mean? And then they'll break it down to me, and I'm like, okay, so they really have given it some thought, because we all catch ourselves. I mean, how many times have you sung the words to a song that you don't even like, and it is saying something that you don't even believe in, and you
Yeah.
and you can't get the song out of your brain.
Yeah.
You can't get it out of your brain.
The
That right
songs
there.
from your teenage years that you didn't realize what it was saying until you listen as an adult. And you're like, oh,
So
that's why mom didn't want me to listen to that.
I am listening to music with some friends yesterday. It's probably 8 people in over 60 years old. Yeah, everybody's over 60. Jack, young guy, you're a young guy. Well, everybody's over 60, and we're listening to some 70s and 80s R&B.
Okay.
Stuff that we grew up on, listening, having that our parents were listening to, that we kind of listened to as kids growing up. Not even Motown. I'm talking about when you were in your formative 10 to teenage years. And as I listen to some of these songs, of course, clearly I've matured because they just hit different. And every year, if you listen to the same song, it'll just hit you differently because your life experiences have changed.
Yeah.
So when you say be open, it's like back to the hypnotist and what we know about it from like cartoons, and I'll use Fred Flintstone as an example. It's kind of funny because he's like, you can't do it, I'm not doing it, I'm not doing it. The next thing you know, he's quacking like a duck and all of that kind of stuff. That's kind of funny because it's like once somebody gets there, it's a dangerous thing. But if you accept the fact that somebody's trying to get there and you acknowledge that, and you acknowledge that you have these biases, it's harder for them to get to you because you assess everything instead of just resisting everything. And it's kind of weird how that works.
No. But you know how we get sometimes. I've been even in surgery, and I know they have to use anesthesia, and I'm like, you ain't putting me to sleep. I ain't counting that. And they say like, you can't get me. Like, yeah, what did you count to? Probably around 97. 97, I'm out. Like, dude,
I think I remember 5. I remember 5.
But you got it in your mind. You got it in your mind that you're not going. They're not going to do it. They're not going to get me. And it's like, they're going to get you. I mean, the chemical alone is going to get you. So, so to imagine doing that without any chemical involved, just you opening yourself and being open to receive everything and anything, you know, and but again, we've been there. So I say, you said it, Ruthie, we say we're in I didn't have the best hypnotherapist, and I had a bad experience. So if I came to you, I've already put up more walls and more shells. So I'm like, you're not going to get me like that person got me. And I know I need the help, and I know I need to, and it is all about me. But because my last person was a bad person, you got to prove yourself, and it makes it even harder to get there. So
it's well, if you believe it is, and that's where it lands. You can believe, oh well, that I'm going to go to Ruthie because now if Walt says, hey, Big Jack, you got to see Ruthie. I saw her and it changed my life. Then you're going to go in with a different perspective. And so it really is just what you want to make of it. And for me personally, I tell people, I want you to put your walls up. I want you to be forward focused. I don't want anything to get through when you're first introduced to something. Because you don't want to be duped, right? And that's why I think
you got to prove your point. Absolutely. You have to earn that space.
We have some bad characters in the world these days.
Yes, 100%.
And we need more people to grow up.
Yes.
Okay, one that just sets me off is the world is on fire about not psychopaths, sociopaths. Sociopaths, there's like, that actually is an interesting book written by a sociopath who is now a therapist that helps sociopaths. Wow. But what are the people that are so self-absorbed and he's a narcissist.
Narcissist. Yes.
Narcissist. Yes. There's I believe it to be true. It's a menopause book, something about the red door or some. I'm gonna mess it up. I'll put it in the comments when this afterwards.
Right.
She says that narcissistic tendencies are just the pieces of us that haven't grown up yet.
I was just about to say, we all have narcissistic tendencies. And once you admit that, and then you have, I forget the word he used, is it big narcissist, extreme narcissist, but we all have, and we all have narcissistic tendencies, and we all do things for self-serving reasons. And people are like, what do you mean? Okay, have you ever helped an old lady across the street? Yeah, why? Because I feel good when I help an old lady across the street. And what's the difference? So what you do with that, and how you use that, that's the difference between you and a person who's off the scale. But we all have those tendencies. We all have biases. Yeah. We that's just part of being human. And the people who don't know that are the people who get caught in their mess a lot more. I know that works, for me anyway.
Yeah. Right. The Aquatic News Network just he confirmed what you had to say, Walt. There it is right there. So,
there it is right there.
Yeah, we wouldn't expect any type of opinion. Yeah. It's so true. And so it's really frustrating when somebody says, oh, he's a narcissist, turn the other way. Now, if there is a narcissist and that is willing to open up and look at it, I had one couple that came, she was my client, and she brought her boyfriend with me and said, I need your opinion because everybody says he's a narcissist. What I found were, and I've seen this in a lot of people, in the places where we are narcissistic or blocked, would be another way, is simply I don't want to say the fault. It's where we haven't been held accountable.
There you
If
go.
you do something, you steal a pack of gum and you get away with it, you're going to do it again because it serves you.
Without consequence.
And exactly. So when there are no consequences, that's what I would like. Parents give now consequences that are matching. Don't beat your children.
No, I understand. Back to the 2-year-old. What's really bothering you? What's really going on? Are you safe? Are you hurt? Is something hurting you? Is anyone doing it? That back to that question. And when you want, and if it doesn't hold up to those things, then maybe you're being unreasonable here.
Yeah.
And maybe you just been basically, you haven't had to deal with the consequences. Like Big Jack and I have this conversation. I know it's a different world now, but when we run into people like that at our age, I just say that's a guy that just didn't get beat up on the playground. He just never got. He just, nobody ever ran him off the playground. I mean, because somebody always saved him from being run off the playground. Because in when you go to the playground, the kids always work it out. The pecking order always falls into place. And I'm not comparing kids to dogs, but when you go to the dog park, they always figure it out. Because left unprotected, for lack of a better word, I'm not saying bring a harm to anyone, but or any animal, but without the owner there, the dogs are going to work it out. The kids, if you go to daycare, the kids are going to work it out. They're going to find out where they fall in the food chain, and they're going to fall out the pecking order. They're going to see the pecking order, and they're going to know the consequences of their actions. And nowadays, because you can't get socialized on the internet. You can't get socialized online. Those social skills are sharpened. Iron sharpens iron in
100%.
person.
Yeah.
I love the title. It's so true.
I appreciate it.
Big Jack.
Yeah. Hey. So look, Ruthie, this has been, it really has been fun. It's been very interesting, and I've learned a lot to the point I'm normally talking more than everyone, but this time I'm listening because I'm learning. But I like no, and I appreciate it because I like that it's a lot of time. I have a long commute to get to work, so I say sometimes that's my quiet time. But you can't get into your quiet time while you're driving at 70 miles an hour, because you don't want to doze and find yourself up in here, or you might have a cartel going through, and whatever it is. So, but with all that, you never know. But my whole thing is, so that's why I was using as a quiet time. But now listening to you, and it's like I need to find a different quiet time, a place where I can get away, allow myself to open up into. Take some of those layers off, what I'm saying? Because we wear a lot of, we put a lot of stuff on, and we carry a lot of stuff. We have a lot of responsibility, a lot of, you're protected. You got all these other things that you're doing, and you think you're doing a good job, and you find yourself, it's like you're not doing a good job. And you're missing what happened and why. You're thinking you're doing one thing, but you're not. And a lot of it is because you're like, say, your toxins. You got a lot of toxins build up, and you need to release some of those things. So I appreciate it today. Definitely appreciate it today. But go ahead, Walt. Go ahead. I see it.
No. I mean, I appreciate you. I think your intention. The last question, Ruthie. I think your intent has a lot to do with it. How these things come off. I mean, if you're honest, if you can't be honest with someone, at least if they're honest about their intentions, does that kind of make a difference in your world, as far as not necessarily going under, so to speak, but in how they deal, how they address things, how they speak to things or react to things? I mean, because like you say, regardless of what people say, look at what they do, their actions, right? Their actions will tell it all. But sometimes things don't work out, and they can be well intended, but when somebody has your best interest at heart and when somebody doesn't, on average, right?
Yeah, I think that's that's a sad thing when you have a couple in front of you And I can see they are both well-intended, and they're just speaking different languages.
Okay.
And so it's getting lost in the divide, the men and women, as I love your men and women coming together, because we speak different languages. And then we have these little kids inside of us. My husband and I had a big blow up, and now we had 30 years ago history, plus 2 different marriages, and all that stuff came up when we got back together that we had to tassel out. But we have the intent of loving one another, but we have to. I was laying in bed, and now this is one rule of mine, and I think it's a good one. Our bed is truce land. It's the white flag. We do not take anything to bed. We don't talk about problems in the bed. We come to bed and we allow our bodies to heal, because something magical happens when a man and a woman line up together. It's not a sexual thing. It's an energetic healing that comes together, but you have to be soft to allow it to happen. So we put it on the table, and I'm laying there breathing, trying to let go of the whatever thing he upset me about. And I'm pouting. I'm pouting like a little girl. And all of this, and my other side, Renee said, just stop it. And I was like, but he was so mean. And all of the sudden I realized, oh, because he's being a little boy. I'm a little girl, and he's being a little boy, and we're fighting like little boys and little girls, and we're trying to, in an adult circumstance.
Right.
So yes, you have to have good intent, and you have to have so much grace and compassion.
Great grace.
And remember, if I love you, what's coming out doesn't look like love. That's what we need to talk about.
Yeah. Wow. So grace, the same grace and compassion that you want from people is what you have to extend to people.
And yourself.
And yourself, or definitely yourself. Yes. But that goes back to your earlier question. The more you judge people, the more those things find their way into your life.
Right.
Because that's usually why we judge people. Is because it's something that is
it's projection. We're basically projecting. Yeah. We're projecting our insecurities onto this other person.
We even say it. If I was them, if I was you, I would.
You know.
So you're already putting yourself right there. So all right. So look, I would hate to end this conversation, and it's definitely going well. But you definitely been a true blessing to be on the stage with us, Ruthie. And Ruthie and Renee, both of y'all was on the stage. So thank you both for being here for real. So we're gonna get B up on the stage whenever she's ready to come up here, and she's gonna get us set on our stats for the day. I think it's been a really good show. I appreciate Ruthie Wilson being here with us. But let's get Boss B up on the stage. Boss B, what's up?
I'm a giddy little schoolgirl when I see that.
That was cute.
It is so pretty. Oh my goodness. Well, we had quite a few in here tonight. We did really good. We always have Miss Sharon and Miss Missy. They're always here with us, thankfully. And we got Edward Johnson. It's Lisa Wright, Asia, The Source, Jamal Williams, and the Aquatic News Network.
All right.
Well,
thank you all for being and coming out here hanging with us on the Iron Sharpening Iron show. We had Miss Ruthie Wilson with us. So and B, I got something for you. So those who don't know, and those are tuning in, this is brought to you, and you see it right there, by BBTV. So BBTV Productions is what's now producing the Iron Sharpening Iron show. So Boss B is going to get Big Jack in order, and BBT Productions is going to take us to a next level. So I thank BBTV Productions for taking us to a next level. And we're going to close this show out. But I got something for B when we close the show out. So all of you that's watching, I want y'all to pay attention to this closing because it's super special. But it's definitely letting BBTV know that Iron Sharpening Iron show and everything that comes off of the Iron Sharpening Iron show is being produced by BBTV. All right, so have a good night. Thank you, Ruthie, for being here. If you can hold on once we close out, we truly thank you for being the guest. But hold on once we close the show. Walt, you know what to do. B, I'll talk to you in a second, but we're going to close this show out. So good night, everyone, and thank you for coming in and hanging out with us. All right.
Night, everyone.